Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in USL League One. We'll take you backward before we take you forward and get you ready for the next 7 days as we wrap up everything that happened on the last 7 days. It's Team of the Week, Save of the Week. We've got your Goal of the Week nominees and also another coaching departure that we will talk about coming up in short order. Last 7 days, last time we caught up, very, very busy time in USL League One because it was the end of the month of June and the calendars turned to get you ready for the month of July. Back Wednesday at Tormenta Stadium, Forward Madison, a 1-0 win, shutout over South Georgia Tormenta in Statesboro. Friday Night Football, North Carolina FC 2-0 winners over Charlotte Independence in the Tar Heel Derby, and then that got us set up for the first weekend of July. Greenville shuts out Forward Madison as their road trip continued by the final of 1-0 on Saturday night at Paladin Stadium. City Stadium, Richmond Kickers shut out Chattanooga Red Wolves by the score of 2-0. And at Fresno State, it was Union Omaha 1-0 winners over Central Valley Fuego. News on Fuego coming up in the news segment. Sunday is our match of the week. South Georgia Tormenta heads to Lexington, Kentucky to take on Lex SC. Here's your highlights, courtesy of our friends at USL League One, ESPN Plus, and YouTube.
Ready and amped here in the all greens in their home stadium. Lexington trying to make it 2 wins against South Georgia at home on the year. Jack Edwards with you in the broadcast booth. And here we go. Played across goal, shot on frame, and it's in. They had 2 hours to prepare it, and it went perfectly for Tormenta. Right out of the stoppage, they take full advantage. Burying that one, Tobias Otieno. Perfection for Tormenta out of the stoppage. Fonseca, you'll see it there, fakes a pass, finds him. Just incredible movement to find the open space in the box. And Otieno buries it. Right channel. Green into the box, headed away. Might sit up for Robertson, controls it down. Opportunity to shoot, put on frame, what a save. Tipped onto the post. TJ Bush extending to parry that one away. Corner kick in. Open header and it's buried home, doubling the lead. Tormenta out of the Storms, they are flying. 2-0 lead on the road. Some great service into the box. Open header, not much that Amal Knight or Lexington can do once they get in that spot. Deshaun Nembard burying that one. Pass is a little short, smart, under a bit of pressure from behind. Wow, nice footwork by Ajay. Plays one in. Sterling, Keziah Sterling low and finishes it off. Kingsford Ajay with the footwork and the pass. And a brilliant left-footed finish and a dance for Keziah Sterling. They're up 3-0 on the road. They feel great early in the second half. Sterling with an excellent left-footed finish. Tough for Knight to get that low against where he's moving. Had an electric year last. Corey backing up into the boards, into the box, clipped in. In the 6-yard box, does it scrape in? It does. Turned by Diouf, bit of space, pass into the channel. Bainham running onto it, taking a nice bit of curvature. We'll leave it for Brown. Plays it for Dillamini, gets it in the box. Dillamini puts that one defender, scooped, but just can't get it across. Balogun was there on hand, but Bush dove to get in front of it. Dillamini lofts one. Headed back towards Bush. Does he keep it in play? It might squirm awkwardly. Nico Brown there on hand. Can tap it home. Now in a tracking back situation. Played out wide well. Jackson Curry in a lot of space. A lot of room to stretch his legs. Smart on hand to press. Step overs onto the right. Plays it. Left-footed shot. Oh, another one. If there was any doubt, it's buried. 5-1. Tormenta with a masterclass on the road. Jackson Curry had the ball played to him in a lot of space. Was caught up to by Don Smart, but got his head up and just laid one off And a brilliant finish from Matthias Cassini. What a way to return from injury. Shot had too much power on it, and he was mobbed by his teammates. We've had our 3 minutes. Up to the referee how much longer it will be. It will be no longer. The 3 points head the way of South Georgia. 5-1. Clinical performance from them.
So a big win for South Georgia Tormenta, and that should also help when it comes to goal difference and goal allowance as we get into tiebreakers, because you can never start thinking about that too soon in the schedule. So we'll get ready with that and show you how things have all laid out here in short order before we get you ready for the next 7 days. All of those results get you ready for the standings, and we mentioned how tight it is in basically 1 through 7 and then getting into the playoffs as well. So it's a couple of different groups, couple of different ways that we'll look at it. North Carolina FC on top at 26 points. Match in hand as forward Madison's been charging up the table. The loss last time out snapped a 4-game win streak. Richmond Kickers third at 24. They've hit each column in their last 3. Charlotte Independents have lost 2 of their last 3. They're at 23. Hailstorm are at 22 points. Goal difference of plus 11. Keep that in mind for later. With a record of 6-1-4, they have matches in hand, does Ayman Zayed and his group. Greenville Triumph also, they are at 22 points. Points per match average is below Northern Colorado's. Goal difference is below Northern Colorado's plus 11 to plus 5, as Greenville is unbeaten in their last 5. Below the playoff bar, currently One Knox is at 21 points, unbeaten in their last 4, but they've only won once. Union Omaha's unbeaten in their last 4. They've won 2 in a row. They're at 19. South Georgia Tormenta is at 18 points, snapping the 2-game losing streak with the win at Lexington. Lexington, speaking of 15 matches, 14 points. They have lost 2 in a row. Chattanooga is at 12 points. After 15 matches, they've lost 3 of 4, 1 point in their last 4 matches. Central Valley right now at 10 points. They've lost 4 in a row. They are at 3-10-1 through 14 matches so far this season, which leads us to the news out of Fresno, California. Fresno FC announces the departure of head coach Martin Vasquez. Sporting director Adam Smith is going to lead the side for the remainder of the 2023 season. Once again, falling 1-0 to Union Omaha. 4th straight loss for the side, which had finished only 2 points out of the playoffs a season ago. Quote from Fuego FC managing partner Juan Relas Jr., both the players and technical staff remain committed to our original goal. That determination speaks volumes about the character of these men who wear our crest and do so with pride. We want to thank everyone who's been with us during these tough times. The league is not easy. Last season, most teams had not clinched a playoff spot until the last possible week. That's how tight League One is. You can expect the level of play to continue to increase as we look forward into 2024, and as the World Cup approaches, our fans can expect, at the very least, to see the best football in town, and it's only going to get better. Smith has had a long history of coaching experience in Northern California, was a part of Fresno FC in the championship playoffs in 2019, worked at Sacramento Republic, and for USL League Two power Ventura County Fusion. And so he is sporting director taking over for the remainder of the season. Also, the other news going on in USL League One, Wallace Anderson is your player of the week, presented by our friends at Konami eFootball. And it was a 2-goal performance that led his side to the win in the Dogwood Derby. That's what they're calling it. Friday night, back to the top of the league. Currently in his 2nd season with North Carolina FC, native of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Opened the scoring 5 minutes before the half. Then he got his 2nd just before the hour mark. So Wallace Anderson is your player of the week as a part of the team of the week, presented by our friends at Konami eFootball. The rest of the roster for the week: Will Palmquist in net for Richmond Kickers, Deshaun Nemhard for South Georgia Tormenta, Nathan Awney for Richmond, Brandon Fricke, your back line of 3 for the defense. In the midfield, it is Rafa Mensingen, North Carolina FC, no surprise. Nils Vinyals from Richmond, Aaron Walker from Greenville, Kingsford Adje, pair of assists in the 5-1 win, helping out Nemhard and Keziah Sterling, completing 14 of 18 passes on the night. Up top, it is Anderson, Noe Meza from Union Omaha, Garrett McLaughlin from North Carolina FC. Your bench: Burnt Shipman from Forward Madison, Simon Fitch from Richmond, along with teammate Dakota Barnathan, Stephen Payne from Forward Madison, J.P. Searcy from Omaha, Justin Succo from Richmond, Keziah Sterling from Tormentas. And that is your Team of the Week and Player of the Week for USL League One, presented by our friends at Konami eFootball. Save of the Week nominees presented by our friends at Select for week number 16. Your choices: Burnt Shipman against Tormenta for Forward Madison, TJ Bush for Tormenta against Forward Madison, Austin Pack for Charlotte in the Dogwood Derby, Will Palmquist for Richmond going up against Chattanooga Red Wolves on July 1st. You can vote at USLLeagueONE.com, and you can also vote on the league's social media feeds and on the USL app. Voting runs through Friday, July the 7th, 12:30 Eastern Time, so we'll keep an eye on that. Also, your Goal of the Week nominees for Week 16, and they are Nazim Bartman for Forward Madison against Tormenta, while Alex Anderson is a part of his Player of the Week performance. Toby Otieno for Tormenta in the 5-goal outburst against Lex, and Mateus Cassini for Tormenta in the same match. So Toby Otieno, Mateus Cassini for Tormenta, while Alex Anderson in the Dogwood Derby, Nazim Bartman in their win against Tormenta. You can once again do that. Voting runs through Thursday at 12:30 on the USL app, multiple platforms, on the social medias, and at USLLeagueONE.com. Power rankings for Week 15 coming into 16. Not a whole lot changed up top. Northern Colorado, Charlotte, North Carolina FC, Forward Madison 1 through 4. One knocks up 1 to 5, which meant Richmond goes down 1 to 6. Greenville stays at 7. Union Omaha up 2 to 8, which meant that Lex SC and South Georgia Tormenta drop. Red Wolves stay at 11. Central Valley stays at 12. The return of Ofek Entman in goal should provide a boost for Fuego, with 5 of the last 7 losses and then 6 of 8 coming by 1-goal margins. And so they've got to get some offense on the board, but having Antman back should really help them out defensively when it comes to all of your power rankings and how things are laid out here in USL League One. Once again, be a part of the fan zone at USLLeagueONE.com. Don't forget to follow along on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram, and that will set us up for all of the activity in USL League One. Only one match currently with juice boxes attached to it, and it's the July 4th match with Northern Colorado hosting Charlotte Independence at 9 Eastern. Northern Colorado, the Hailstorm, -123. The Draw and Charlotte within range of each other, basically at a +273 on either side of that. The remainder of the schedule coming up over the next 7 days. Saturday, your standard busy day. There's action on Sunday, and then once again, Northern Colorado gets to try and catch up with the matches that they have in hand. It is Northern Colorado, Charlotte, July 4th. 4 matches on Saturday. CHI Memorial at 7:30. Hailstorm goes to Chattanooga after playing in the midweek. Regal Stadium, One Knox hosting North Carolina FC. 8 o'clock at Breeze Stevens. Forward Madison hosting Central Valley. 8 o'clock at Warner Park in Papillon, Nebraska. Union Omaha hosting Richmond Kickers. Sunday the 9th at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Charlotte Independence hosting Lex SC. Then next Tuesday, One Knox. Once again, it's the makeup match against Northern Colorado, but that one will be at Regal Stadium. So a very, very busy 7 days for Hailstorm. At home, flying to Chattanooga, and then driving to Knoxville to take on One Knox. So we'll see how Northern Colorado manages 3 matches in a week's time when we come back and visit next time out. If you are in market and can catch any of the action in USL League One, please do. It's going to be tight all season long to get to the top of the table, get into the playoffs, stay in the playoff picture. So if you can, catch some of the best action and some of the tightest competition in soccer here in this hemisphere. If you can't, if you're in market, follow along through local providers. And if for some reason you're out of market and you can't follow along and you can't be there in person, follow along on local providers. Also follow along on ESPN Plus, as they have every match in USL League One all season long. For everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Thanks for hanging out with us here as we break everything down in USL League One. Play it safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.
There can be only one